Welcome back into another episode of the What the Ruck podcast. I'm your host, Ruck. We're going to get into it today. I know everybody's heard about these OnlyFans challenges. You know, the two headliners right now that are most popular for these challenges are Bonnie Blue, who's a actress out of the UK, and Lily Phillips. Both of these young women have done crazy challenges, you know, such as 1,000 or so men in 24 hours. Or 100 men in one day. The things that are grabbing people's attention and selling and making them millions of dollars. Well, at the end of 2025, one of them decided to step over into another threshold. And that threshold was being baptized. And you know, we're going to take a look at an article that was written about her, and she speaks about her baptism and, you know, the things that she perceives to be her ideology about, you know, her career and her, I guess, newfound walk with God. Me personally, I'm smelling cabbage, straight cap. I'm smelling it. I'm smelling it. I'm going to tell you why. Because these women have made millions of dollars, and not to get biblical on everybody, but you cannot serve two masters. And I feel that's what she's trying to do. And I feel that's the road she is headed down. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and serve money. You're going to have to pick. And I don't think she understands that. And then a lot of these women, I feel like they don't have the right people in their ear, because a lot of them, their families are egging this stuff on and helping them create this stuff because it's generating millions of dollars for the family. And they're buying brand new houses, going on luxury vacations and exotic cars, and buying the latest fashion and all that other foolishness that, you know, people tend to value over their soul. Let's just keep it a buck. So we're gonna take a look at this article. You know, me personally, you know, these women are turning themselves into hallways. And, you know, for a man that's got, you know, some sense about himself, a real man ain't looking to throw a hot dog down a hallway. Let's keep it a buck. We just not. All right. So it goes into adult star Lily Phillips has spoken out about her relationship with Christianity after her recent baptism turned heads. Phillips, 24, and OnlyFans creator from the UK, is no stranger to controversy and outrageous stunts, but she ended 2025 with a whole new approach after being baptized on December 28th. Following that decision, Phillips has spoken out about her decision to reinstate her relationship with God and what that means for her adult career. Speaking to the Daily Star, Phillips, whose adult career started when she was 18, explained that she's always been a Christian and was baptized as a baby. She would often go to church during her childhood as her family was quite involved in Christianity. Phillips told the Daily Star, "I got baptized on Sunday. It was really good. It was just really nice to kind of reinstate my relationship with God because it kind of deviated for quite a bit of time." You don't say. I don't go to church that often. Never would have guessed that. It is more like when I can. I've been so busy and traveling a lot, so it is not that available to me at times like that. But I do pray. It really depends on what is going on in my life, but it can range from 5 to 10 minutes. I don't need to be in church to pray. Well, she made sense on that. You don't. You know, prayers to be done, you know, in your moments of quietness and stillness for you to have your conversation with God. It doesn't always have to happen in a church, but you can pray anywhere. Just look at, you know, Muslims and the Islamic faith. They pray, 8 to 9 times a day. So, you know, it's a good habit to have. I think everybody should have that habit. It calms, it relaxes you, it helps you get stuff off your chest. Phillips shared footage of her baptism on Instagram, calling it a day to remember forever. It has been viewed over 5.5 million times at the time of writing. The adult star noted that her career has taken a back seat of late, and right now her focus lies elsewhere. So just with this right here just shows you it's going to be hard for people to believe or buy this, because you being baptized is a private moment for you, and is a moment that you are having between you and God. And for her to take and use that to post and put on the internet, she knows what she's doing. She knows it's going to cause controversy. She knows it's going to bring more attention to her and her brand. She knows there are going to be people in the comment section just talking reckless and foul about her decision. She knows that. She feeds off of that. All of these girls who do this, adult content on OnlyFans, they feed off of this. It puts the battery in their back. It really does. These guys are lining up, to get time with these girls, Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips. They're lining up. They're standing in line for hours to go in there and get 60 seconds, 4 minutes, 6 minutes. For a real man that's, going in to do his business, that's a waste of our time. That's a waste of our time. And for these guys to stand in line just to stack pickles on top of pickles in her jaw, that's wild. These guys are standing in line with shiesties and ski mask on, trying to hide their face because they either called out from work or they got a partner or they don't want their family members to see them knowing, they're going to throw a hot dog down the hallway. And it's just it's simple as that. If you got to do all that, bro, you need to work on yourself and get yourself together so you don't have to go and do a silly stunt like this to where it shows how desperate you are to get some buns. Straight up. If you got to go stand in line with 90 other dudes to smash the same chick, bro, you're lame. Let's just call it what it is. You're lame. There's nothing cool about that. She says, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm just trying to prioritize other things going into 2026. She continued, and in the article, it talks about what people have said since news of Phillips' baptism went viral. Many internet users have taken to social media to share their thoughts. And here we go. And this is what boosts, their visibility, which brings more money to the brand. And see, that's the problem with a lot of people in the general public. They don't understand that these people who have mastered, the internet, far as visibility, what it does, the old saying has been around for a long time. There's no such thing as bad publicity. It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. You can do the most wild, jacked up shit in the world. At the end of the day, it's going to bring people to your page. It's going to bring people to your subscriptions, and it's going to earn you revenue, whether you like it or not, or agree with it or not. That's the whole game plan. Writing on X, Ryan Enany said she prays Phillips discovers her true identity in Christ. Another ex-user reposted the video and wrote, if she is serious, then good for her. But if this is just another stunt, shame on her. Agreed. Others weren't so certain, as Brian Atlas said it's fake and just a stunt. He posted on X, Lily Phillips is a fraud. This is fake. Do not believe it. Like all her other stunts, this is just a publicity stunt. Her OF is still up, social still littered with degeneracy. Of course, and to the young man, Brian Atlas, hey, I'm going to tell you straight up, bro, it's going to stay up. It's going to stay up because this is how she's making her living. This is how she's getting paid. This is what she's doing, and she's tricking people into, coming to her site, getting the traffic, the views, which means more ads, which means more ad revenue. I think everybody should really go in and look up how social media and these sites like YouTube and all that really generate money, and these people earning millions of dollars on it. I think your approach will be a little different, because the more you comment means more traffic, means more views, which means more ads, which means more ad revenue. The only way to kill a lot of this stuff off is to ignore it and just let it pass on by. But it's hard because everybody has become addicted to social media and reading and scrolling and all of that. Phillips went viral in 2024 after revealing that she slept with 101 men in the space of 14 hours as part of a challenge she set for herself. The events of the day were captured by YouTuber Josh Peters for the documentary I Slept with 100 Men in One Day. Boy, that thing turning into a Grand Canyon. Footage of Phillips breaking down in tears after completing the challenge led people to call for a ban on OnlyFans. First of all, you put yourself in this situation. So You don't get no sympathy for nobody. Nobody. In a 14-hour period, you let 100 men drop pickle off in your jar and you think somebody's going to feel sorry for you. Man, get the hell out of here. Conservative media commentary Louis Malachi Miller called it a sick stunt and said that Phillips was responsible for her own behavior. Phillips has previously stated that filming solo adult content has enabled her to earn millions, even earning just $2,500 in 24 hours. Although she previously stated to E! News that it's not about the money. Oh yeah, it's most definitely about the money. You just sitting around just letting dudes come and drop it off in you for free on the house. Come on, man. Stop playing the world for as if we're stupid. There's no goal. It's not like, oh, if I hit this figure, I'll stop doing this. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I really just enjoy it. Phillips said, man, this is just wild. She says she's doing it for the love of the game. First of all, this is not a game. All right. Because you don't know what diseases that these people are carrying out here. And I know people talk about, oh, these girls get tested and this, that. It is a well-known fact that these diseases can lay dormant. And once they get passed on, you don't know what's in your body that could activate it immediately. And it's just wild that, her statement is it's not about money. She does it for the love of the game. You're not playing basketball. You ain't playing football. You ain't playing baseball. You ain't doing none of that. And you hollering about it's for the love of the game. Spoken like a true slut. We got to call it a spade a spade. And, this is why you have guys like Fresh and Fred and all these other red pill commentators just digging into these women because they're making it socially acceptable and they're making it the norm. At least they're trying to make it the norm. And as long as you have women and you have OnlyFans and you have people doing this stuff like this, you will always have red pill content. And that's just a fact. You can get mad at the guys calling them sluts and all that other stuff. But when you have somebody online telling a news article group that they do it for the love of the game, that's wild. That is straight wild. And there's no good that's going to come of that. Now, me personally, I feel that this is a grift. I feel like this is another stunt and she's got a plan. This is not just something she just threw together. There's a plan to this. I'm telling you, just wait and see. Brittany Renner, she did the same thing. She hopped on the religious train. She converted to Islam. And then after that, it's just been a train wreck. And the one thing about discipline, about religion, you have to have is discipline. And if these women had some real discipline, they probably wouldn't have started out doing what they were doing and got to this point in their life. That's why they are in this position they're in, because they don't have no discipline. Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, Sophie Rain, all these other girls that do these, OnlyFans and making these millions and millions of dollars, and you want to holler about Christianity, you can't serve two masters. And it's sad because they don't have anybody around them that's going to stand 10 toes down and tell them, yo, we don't give a damn about how much money you make. And that's great. But you are what you are, and you can't run around trying to convince other people of that. If you want to do this and that's who you are, you need to accept the consequences and the bullshit that come along with it. It is simple as that. No man is going to take you serious on that level. And these dudes that's running around here and that's funding these girls' lifestyles, most of the time, these women will not even give you a second look if you was walking down the street. All right. And I agree, when you got guys like Fresh and Fit, telling guys, look, man, instead of paying these women this money, why don't you reinvest that money into yourself? Get yourself in shape, get you a crib, get you a nice car, and build your social life to where you can get access to these women without having to be the lame on the other side of a computer monitor sending them donations and tips, because that's buster shit. Let's just keep it what it is buster shit. I have absolutely no desire to go on OnlyFans. And this is what I tell everybody when we have this conversation. What's the point of going and spending money on OnlyFans when the internet has free sites coming out the wazoo. What's the point? Any girl you want to see on OnlyFans, there is a site out there that's free that has some of her content. I guarantee you. It is guys out there who go and rip this content from their OnlyFans page and post it on free sites. It's just like back in the day when people were downloading the music. It's the same principle. What they had back in the day, they had LimeWire. You can go download any freaking album you want for free. It's the same thing. That stuff has gone nowhere. It just evolves. So why go spend the money? Oh, you think because she's got the Telegram and all that you can actually talk to them? Well, why do you think so many women now are pushing the fact that yes, you are actually talking to me? Do you know why? Because a lot of them use bots and assistants to respond to messages. You're not even really talking to the girl. So they're sitting there talking to you like a 900 sex phone number, thinking you actually talking to this girl, and you're not. You talking to a bot, and you just getting, your wallet is just taking a beating like they do in these videos. And at the end of the day, she's going to buy some exotic car and go on some trip and pay her family's mortgage off. Also, she can build her popularity up to go chase some rapper or celebrity. And you know who put her in position to do that? You did, by spending all of that money on her freaking site. So I don't understand why these guys are not waking up. If you that hard up for some buns, you need to go take yourself to your local gentleman's club, or you need to go find a chick walking down the street, if you catch my drift, and get the real thing. Because spooging down your monitor, that's not where it's at. That's just not where it's at. You need to get some discipline and self-control, because you're making these women into millionaires. And then at the end of the day, when they get questions about it, they're looking at you as if you're the degenerate for purchasing their content. But what they fail to realize is that their content isn't going to earn them no money if you're not watching and consuming it. But as you tell them, oh yeah, I watch and consume, this, they like, nigga, get out my face. So you being played, your bank account is being played, and then you playing yourself. To me though, it's just wild of the concept of a man standing in line with 100 other men, 90 other men, 70 other men, all to go get 60 seconds with a chick. That's just crazy. And that just screams desperation. And the reason, and that's why these stunts work, because there's a lot of desperate men out there. And that's sad, because you won't get up off your ass and get yourself together. So you don't have to be in desperation mode, because you still got that baby batter caked up on your brain, and you go make a decision. I'm gonna go stand in line to get 60 seconds with this girl so she can earn $2 or $3 million. Stop being a fool, fellas. Stop being a fool. It's not worth it. All right, that's the end of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please get in the comments. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody has opinions on this stuff. Let's get in the comments. Let's have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't have these conversations and we don't educate one another, we're going to continue to have this type of stuff going on in society, especially with, these women who are earning millions and millions and millions of dollars off of, now they call them simps, but back in the day, we call them busters, simp, buster, whatever you want to call it. As a society, we got to wake these dudes up and get their mind on some real shit to get them together to realize that, hey man, throwing a hot dog down the hallway is just not where it's at. It's just not. All right. So keep a lookout for the next video. I appreciate you taking the time to check it out, and please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I want to build the channel up. I want to get the channel out there to where we can reach more masses. We can have these conversations. We can go back and forth in a respectful manner. We can get in the comments. We can launch these jokes, because I'm all about a good one. If you see something in the video that you just want to flame up and go for it, I'm all for it. I ain't gonna take it personal, and I ain't gonna get in the comments and come at you sideways. All right. So have a good one.